On this Flag Day, we look at our unique history of defending our country. And women are a big part of that. A local nonprofit took a group of Michigan female veterans on Tuesday to see the Washington War Memorials. And ABC 12 was part of the historic two-day trip from Flint. Christine Winter and photojournalist Eric Fletcher show us why it's about more than just honoring the women's time in the military.
Good morning.
Good morning, Berta Salisbury.
Red, white, and blue at a bustling Bishop Airport in Flint.
Thank you for your service. Have a great time.
150 passengers packed up for the mission of a lifetime. On the manifest for this Mid-Michigan honor flight to Washington, 150 strangers sharing two powerful connections.
Have a good journey. Love you, Samara.
Every single honoree and guardian is a female veteran.
As soon as we came up with this idea, everybody was on board and said, yes, we need to do this.
It's believed to be the first of its kind for the honor flight program.
Appreciate you.
And from takeoff to landing, there are so many kind words.
God bless our women veterans. God bless America, land of the free because of the brave.
Attention these women veterans just aren't used to. At the war memorials, stories of living history.
I thought I was serving my country.
Back in 1967, Vietnam War veteran Nancy Wells was only 22 years old.
I was naive. I was young. I thought I was going over and care for soldiers who wouldn't die.
When she went to work as a nurse at an evacuation hospital in Pleiku.
It was an almost 400-bed hospital, and there were times when we had so many casualties coming in that we ran out of beds.
Engraved names on a wall and memories of the young teenagers she tried to save.
The boys were amazing. They were compassionate. They were funny. They cared more about the man in the next bed than they did for themselves. Every time I walked into my ward, I fell in love 40 times. Every day I was there.
There's also retired Air Force Master Sergeant Joanne Tillman of Flint. She served 21 years beginning in 1969.
I graduated. I didn't want to work at General Motors. It gave me an opportunity to do something different.
Tillman wanted to go to Vietnam, but her options were limited.
At the time I was in, women couldn't go to combat. We were not allowed. Only the nurses went to combat. And a couple of times I did volunteer to go, but of course I was not a nurse, so I was not selected to go.
In the late 1960s, the world was much different for women.
We were not selected on our ability, we were selected on our looks. Okay, so, but now I think it's great that the fields were limited to, mostly we went into administrative fields, or the hospital.
I had a desk job. I didn't talk to enough women at that time. When you're in the service, you do what you're told when you're told, and you don't ask questions.
Insight on why this trip is so crucial. The Mid-Michigan Honor Flight did its homework. It found out of 46,000 female veterans in Michigan, less than 1% had been on an honor flight. And there's something else.
And a lot of female veterans don't feel like their service meant anything because they didn't serve in time of combat or they didn't serve, in combat.
He says it's not uncommon for women to say, I'm a service member, but not a veteran.
We're trying to combat that and say, no, you're a veteran, your service counts. It means as much as the men's service did.
The Military Women's Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, wanted to recognize each one of these heroes.
What you did mattered. You changed things. You are the shoulders that this current generation stands on and now has opportunities we could only dream of. So don't you dare tell me I was just. I was only. I didn't serve for long.
In this room, there's a combined 1,605 years of service. Each veteran
Cheryl McLeod, darling.
receiving an award,
A1C Sarah K. Ford.
sharing and recognizing how her story and her story
Petty Officer 3rd, Molly Jo Barnes, Navy 2005 to 2010.
are crucial parts of America's herstory.
I identify with this nurse kneeling here and just falling down on my knees, wanting to cry, and you can't cry. If I cried, I'd never stop.
Now, close to 60 years later, new friendships and perspectives.
It is fantastic. I have enjoyed just seeing the history of the women, hearing about the history of the women and what they've done.
And perhaps some grace for servicewomen who don't think of themselves as a veteran.
I'm still reluctant when I go to memorial services like we had for Memorial Day to salute my flag. I always put my hand on my heart instead. It's just, like they say, there's different baggage we all have, and that's part of my baggage.
So this trip could be life-changing.
Very definitely. Very definitely.
Thank you for your service.
And as Mid-Michigan Honor Flight Mission 19 comes full circle,
There is a bond. We're sisters.
the veterans are again wading through a red, white, and blue sea of strangers at Bishop International Airport. Their beaming, contagious smiles could be hopeful signs they're moving past the days of I was just, I didn't, I only. Because our veteran heroes' service is important. They are important. And it's up to the rest of us.
That's you in your younger days.
To never let them forget it.
Thank you for your service.
From Washington, D.C. and Flint, Christine Winter, ABC 12 News.